party people, a very sweaty Emily coming here to you from the Movement Clinic. Just finished filming a standing balance class and thought, what better time to teach a tutorial than looking like a wet dog? So make sure that you have a block for tripod headstand. Now, I advise you to practice extreme caution with this. I advise beginners to build up your practice for quite some time before approaching this. But if you've been practicing for some time or even been attempting tripod headstand or headstands or inversions in general, then it might be time for you to explore. Again, be mindful, this is your neck, and we only get one of these spines. So a couple of big things, using this block to make sure that our forearms stay wrapping in and our elbows stay in place and we get that nice external rotation of our upper arms while we maintain that internal rotation of the forearms as we squeeze in. So things don't get all splayed out and we keep the shoulders in an optimal position. Also, we are not jumping in, we are not pressing in, we are lifting, okay? So we're gonna work on the lift, okay? I'm gonna show you a few different variations to come in, but first, place your block on the lowest, widest setting. Now, men, if you are practicing this, you might need a second block to actually get closer to your shoulder width distance, and some women have quite broad shoulders. I do, but in this, I can get away with using one block. So feel free to use two with the shorter or smaller width. Wrap your forearms around the block, place your forearms down, almost like dolphin pose. Make sure to squeeze that block in between your forearms, plant your palms, spread fingers nice and wide. Now, zip up the low belly and pick up the block, come into tabletop. And then come on back down. Squeeze in, come on to tabletop, come on back down. So that's what you're gonna have to do as you approach headstand. Now, pick up the block. I'm gonna move my hands back so that my head can come forward. Little to no weight on my head. I'm pressing down a lot into my palms, lifting the knees. Now, first we might try to tuck right knee into chest and lightly land right knee on right elbow. Maybe left knee on left elbow. Zip up the low belly, squeeze that block. Bring inner thighs to squeeze together, squeeze your butt, press out through the balls of the feet, squeeze your inner thighs together, lift your feet out of your shoulders. And come back down. Keep squeezing that block, try not to lose it. Excellent. It's a lot harder than it looks. So, release the block for now. If that sort of tucking in through kind of like a crow pose feels like it's probably the most accessible for you, practice there for a while. Keep squeezing that block in. Keep reaching up and out through the feet. It's almost as though you're getting taller through the feet to lift the weight off of the hands and the head, of course. We want basically like a 90-10 or 80-20 balance where we're not putting a lot of weight on the head and neck. We're actually placing weight in the palms, pressing down through the palms, lifting out through the feet to keep as much weight off of the head as possible. Okay, so let's try this again. Of course, low belly is always zipped up, low ribs are absorbed in, and we're really kind of stretching our heart up as well. So lots of actions happening. If you want to try another variation, sometimes a wide-legged forward fold is easiest to come into. So I'll show you that here as well. And then the ultimate pike position, which I think is sort of like the one that is the hardest to get, but once you get it, it feels really great and really controlled. So let's try it here. This is the one that felt most accessible to me for the longest time for whatever reason. So maybe it's gonna be that way for you as well. Same thing with the block. I'm making space for this wide-legged forward fold to happen, but I'm going to plant my palms and pick up the block and step my feet out to my wide-legged forward fold. Now, I'm gonna need to walk my palms and the block back so my hands are more or less in line with my feet. Squeeze kneecaps, zip up low belly, absorb low ribs, press away through the hands. Start to fold and hinge at the hips to place your head down on the mat. Now lift up to the balls of the feet. Squeeze those kneecaps, zip up low belly, maybe feet float. Reach out through the balls of the feet. Start to bring inner thighs towards one another. Squeeze inner thighs in. Reach out through the feet. Get taller through those feet. And slowly come out the way that you went in. Maybe, or practice, try. Land with control. Lift the head, stretch heart forward. Release the block. Okay, so that's option number 2. Maybe similar to option number 1 in accessible entry. So maybe start with what feels like a good beginning for you. Try the other one. And then maybe we'll move towards pike, okay? So these 3 different really common entries into tripod headstand. Again, weight is so light in the top of that head. Ultimately landing, you kind of start with the weight just behind your hairline, and as you lift off, it'll roll forward to meet more on the crown of your head. We don't ever want the neck to not have its natural curve. We want to have the natural S curve of the spine present so that it's got like that natural sort of weight-bearing gravity resistance. Okay? Let's find our pike. Come to your hands and knees, lower to forearms, squeeze that block in. Press down through the L space of the thumb and forefinger as you squeeze that block. Lift it off of the mat. I'm just gonna drag my hands back a little bit as I bend the elbows back, keep squeezing block, stretch heart and neck forward, land my head just behind my hairline, pressing away through my palms, keeping the weight light on my head here. Now for pike, I tuck my toes, big toes are touching here, low belly zipped, press up. I'm already squeezing my inner thighs as I sort of walk my feet up, low belly zipped, getting hips stacked over shoulders, maybe feet float. It's a lot of work. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your inner thighs, zip up low belly, lengthen heart, forward towards your block, and slowly come out with control. And there you have it. Release the block. So that is tripod headstand. Of course, it is an inversion that I would typically teach after handstand and after forearm balance because you've already worked on that core integration and you have all that know-how of what to do with the legs and the feet and the belly and the pelvis. So by all means, if you feel ready to explore, explore, do it as safely as possible. Take care of the neck and shoulders as you do, and make sure that no matter what, you are staying curious and being playful, finding that balance of challenge, but also of ease and grace. So if this is a pose that doesn't do that for you, leave it be. And if it's something that feels like the right amount of challenge right now, along with ease and grace, then lean in. I encourage it. I look forward to seeing you next time. Ciao for now.